let's talk about where is the business at the moment. You're in 12 countries. I think when you were saying to me, look, Manas, I started 15 years ago. My deal ticket size was $2.5 billion. Where is the next evolution of ACWA Power? Where's the next deals to drop this year?
We are today in 12 countries, as you say. By the end of this year, we expect to be in at least 16 countries. So we are working right now to add Ethiopia, where we've actually signed a contract, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Bangladesh. We are already in Indonesia, where we haven't actually started construction of a project, but I fully expect us to be in construction on one project. So basically growing more geography, more capacity.
Who's the biggest deal in that range of countries you've just outlined?
The biggest transaction, I mean, look, okay, in Bangladesh, we're working on a fairly large gas to power project, but some of the big sort of renewable energy projects I expect are going to be in Indonesia, floating solar plants on dams, because Indonesia has got sort of land problems, so instead of on irrigation dams, those kind of projects. So a lot of exciting stuff.
Where's the price of solar power going? I mean, if you had a magic ball, I know you'd be richer, but the trend is tough at the moment. So where's your call?
Well, the trend is very clear, right? It's down, down, down. So we are now in an era, just in the last 6 months, pretty much across Africa. We are very convinced solar power can be delivered at less than 3 cents pretty much anywhere across Africa. Mm-hmm. We're doing a fairly huge project in Ethiopia, and that's the one that brought that level down to that kind of level. In the GCC area, below 2 cents. Pretty much across, I mean, so the numbers that we need to be thinking about for solar power across the world is somewhere, regardless of where you are, in that belt where the sun shines. When the sun is shining, easy, below 4 cents. So it's somewhere between, depending on creditworthiness, intensity of sun, anywhere between sort of 1.7 something, all the way to, in that sort of band.
Okay, so you're out there doing deals for the business this year, but this time last year, the PIF announced their intention to step deeper into you. Where are we with that, scaling up of the relationship with PIF?
So PIF at the time, beginning of last year, this event actually, His Excellency Ramayan actually announced that they were looking at increasing their shareholding. So what they've done is, PIF actually came into ACWA Power several years ago through a fund. They had 15%, then PIF took a direct stake in us, 10%. During the latter part of last year, they consolidated that into a direct 25% holding. We are now working, as he announced it, to increase that shareholding to 45%. We expect to conclude that sometime, hopefully this quarter, early into the next quarter.
So when they have 45%, what does that mean for the business? What's that going to mean with you and Al Ramayan?
Well, it allows us, I mean, it makes us much stronger. It shows, I mean, PIF is a very, very heavyweight sovereign, extremely creditworthy, extremely well respected, with enormous amount of network and relationships.
But is it going to push the business further along?
Of course it will, because it allows us not only improves our credit capacity, but it also allows us to tap into PIF's own portfolio companies, its network of relationships, not just financial, but technical relationships, technology providers. So I think it's a very, very strong, powerful signal. It allows us to truly become a national champion and grow with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as Saudi Arabia repositions itself into the world.
Do you think 45% is the top of their ambitions with you in terms of a holding?
I would imagine they would like to have more, but I think they also respect the balance that needs to be struck between allowing us to be truly regarded as private, yes, which I think there's a lot of benefits around.
So that's the PIF story. Now, everybody needs an exit story. So is there an IPO for the holding company this year?
We have always said that we want to bring, it's absolutely vital, particularly the service we provide, power and desalinated water, that we bring the public in as shareholders, for sure Saudi public and the international public. And we absolutely are committed to an IPO. We've got to, sooner than later. Look, if I were to commit myself to a time frame, all I can tell you is for sure I'm going to get it wrong.
Well, we've got Matthew Martin here, so we're looking for a red headline, or what's colloquially known as a green bee.
I am sure he is, and look, I think, listen, and I think you will well, look, I very much look forward to getting that done sooner than later and moving on, because I think there is much more to be done.
Okay.
And there's much more excitement to be created.
Okay, sooner rather than later, and that's fine. We'll let it sit at that.
Thank you.
What has the Aramco IPO done in terms of, as you look at the landscape for maybe doing a IPO, has the Aramco IPO sucked funds away from the opportunity or created an opportunity?
We firmly believe the Aramco IPO has created an opportunity because it galvanized a lot of attention, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of debate,
yes,
plus and minus. It's done. Aramco is in the public domain. It didn't take a hell of a lot of liquidity out of the system because of the amount that was actually finally IPO'd. I would imagine there will be, perhaps it's to be expected that there might be some creeping sort of increases, but the numbers are not. I mean, for the size of Saudi economy, the size of market out there, it's trillions, man. So I think as Saudi becomes comfortable, as Aramco performs, as Saudi also continues to evolve, I think this is all fantastic news. I mean, it's good from my perspective, just in isolation. Had we been early last year going into the market, as opposed to going later on this year, after Aramco, it's a hell of a better place to be in our view.